YouTube family. Well, it's always an honor for me to bring you a brand new video. Yep. Honestly, I'm tired, but I just have it in my mind that today I'm definitely going to make a video before I rest, because if I go to bed, then I don't know if I'm going to get up. So, because I decided I take it upon myself as a responsibility to be making videos maybe once every 2 days or maybe 3 days. So I had this inspiration coupled with what I was supposed to bring today. So I said, let me not just let it slide. Let me bring it up to you. So how you're doing? Hope everybody is doing well. I hope this message meets you well and healthy. Well, uh, I am very, very humble to be able to, for everything that God has impressed in my heart to be able to share with you out there. And I'm grateful for everyone that has subscribed, that has shared my video and keep sharing. I just want to encourage you that if this is your first time of coming across my video, I just want to say I would like you to hit that subscribe button. I want you to like, I want you to share, because the things that I have in me to bring it out there in the world, they are so much so that I think we are going to build a catalog, not even a catalog, a library of information that I'm going to be bringing out. So that's why I want to try my best to make sure that I'll be putting them as fast as possible, because if an inspiration is impressing your heart and you do not release it, you may lose it. Yeah. So yesterday, or I don't know, the last video rather, we look at a couple of things, and we were looking into a series which I'll entitle this one part 3 of reasons why people do not succeed. Like I said, if you have not subscribed to this channel, the channel is I Stand Out TV. It's a YouTube channel. If you have not subscribed, subscribe. It's very important. It's paramount that you subscribe to this channel, because like I said, and I'll repeat it to you, that this channel has the potential to transform your life entirely. So subscribe and make sure that you click on the bell so that each time I release a video, you will get the notification as soon as it drops. So today is the continuation of the series. This let's put this as part 3, why people do not succeed. Yeah, we look at 3 reasons yesterday. If I could take a recap of them, I think we had lack of sense of gratitude, lack of willpower, and lack of ability to take responsibility. Those were the 3 things that we look upon the last video. So in this video, I want us to continue in that same light, to look at maybe 3 things. I'm very tired, and I'm gonna get myself a rest. So I want us to look at 3 more today. But before we get into that, I just want to give you a food of thought, yeah, for you to reason, to sink deep into your heart, for you to reason, to reflect rather over it. Yeah, once a person is born into this world, the clock starts ticking against that person. Once a baby is born into this world, the baby cry. That cry signifies a couple of things based on my own understanding. The cry of a baby when it comes out of a mother's womb signifies some certain things. To me, first, that cry signifies that I'm alive. Secondly, that cry signifies that I've been introduced into a place where I'm not used to. Because once a baby is in a mother's womb, that baby become accustomed to, the baby is getting nourishment from the mother's womb and care, that warm in the belly. So when it comes out to this world, it's a new environment that baby has no information about that environment. So that's the second thing that Christ signified to me. The third one is the challenges that the baby is already confronted with, even as a child. Because, like I said, the day you were born in this life, that day your challenges start. You start facing challenges, you start facing persecution, you start facing everything. That day you leave your mother's womb into this world, a lot of things start coming your way. And the fourth one, based on my own opinion, is that cry signifies that you know you are going to die. Yes, you know you're going to die. So once a baby comes out of a mother's womb, the baby cry, like I said, that cry to me signifies four things, as I've explained. Four, the fact that to signify that I'm alive. Yeah, I'm alive. To signify that I've been introduced to a new environment which I know nothing of. The third one, that I'm already facing challenges. And the fourth one, I'm gonna die. So like I said, the moment you come into this world, the clock starts ticking against you. The clock is ticking against you. It's taking you closer to your grave. It's taking you closer to eternity. This is something we need to reflect about. But in between when you are born, to when you die, you got to make something out of your life. You got to take that time, find your purpose, why you came onto this earth, accomplish it before you die. Death is inevitable. All of us born into this world, we don't need to be afraid of death, because it's something. I'm not saying that we should go and commit suicide or introduce our life or live a reckless life because we know we are going to die. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that even if you introduce your life or not, death is an inevitable end to every human being. Yes. So in between the time you are born, being alive, to when you die, that is the period when you need to make things happen. That's the period when you need to identify why you are here and achieve it. The graveyard has swallowed a lot of lives. I told you, each time I come in front of the camera, I don't know what's happening. I can stay, my nose will never be itchy. But this top part, each time I get on the camera, my nose start being itchy. But besides, that's by the way. So what I'm saying is, if you already know that there's nothing you can do in this life that will prevent you from not dying, how do you live your life? What do you do with this life that you came into this world with? That's the question. That's what I want you to reflect on today. What are you doing with your time here on earth? Because the clock every moment is ticking against you. An hour, a minute, a second, a split of a second, a day, a week, a month, a year, a century, a decade gone can never be put back into place. That is history, which can never be recalled. So by the time you're being alive in this world, what do you do? So this period of somebody being born and being alive and heading to the grave, that period of life, a lot of people do a lot of crazy things, make a lot of mistakes. Why? One reason, because they don't know why that life was given to them. They don't know why that life was pushed out of that womb to come into this earth. They don't know why. And a lot of people never find out why That's why a lot of people keep abusing their life. Let me tell you something. The major cause of depression in this war has to do with people not knowing exactly what they're supposed to be doing. Depression is something that comes both upon the rich and the poor. Most of the times, depression even attacks rich people more than poor people. You hear people that are multi-millionaires in dollars, they commit suicide. They were depressed. Why? A lot of people are looking forward to even have just a split of what you have, but you have everything they are dreaming of, thinking that they may never have it, and you are depressed after having all these things and still die. Everything I'm saying now, I want you to reflect deeply on it. That's why I'm encouraging you to keep following this video. I'm saying that I want to use the gift that God has given me to build your life, to build a catalog, to build a library, a step-by-step library. That's when you reflect over all these things I'm saying, it's going to give you a reason to change your life. Yeah, it's going to give you a reason to identify your purpose, your original objective in this life, which a lot of people do not even have it. So you have a period now that you who is watching me of being alive to when you're going to be taken out of the earth. But before you are taken out, what did you do with this life that you have? That's the question you need to ask yourself now. What are you doing with this life you have? Yep. What are you doing with the life you have now? Even before you leave. So I'll bring more messages of reflection. But for now, I want us to discuss what I prepare for us to discuss, which has to do with reasons, part 3. I think this is part 3, if I'm not mistaken. Why people do not succeed with their life. Yes, I want us to look at it, part 3 of why people do not succeed with their life. Yeah, I want us to look at it now. So, like I said, I already read to you some of the reasons we had in the last video. So, I want us to look at 3 more now, and I'm going to quickly rush over it because, like I said, every item that I'm listing to you, there are topics that in the future I'm going to be taking as a topic as a whole, treating them. There's a lot we got to do, a lot. So what we're going to be looking at today is lack of opportunities. Yes, this reason is, I know it's not a really strong reason on its own, but I want to let you know that some of the opportunities you have now, not everybody in the world is privy to such opportunities. There are people that I know that when they were in Africa, their life was a mess. And if they would have continued being there, their life would have ended up in ruins. But when they move abroad, everything about them changed. Their way of thinking, their way of doing things, everything about them changed, and they become productive. So when I look at that, that's why I brought in this point. Why they were living back in that, when they were back in Africa the way they were, because they did not have any reason to live for. They didn't have the opportunity to do something with their life, or they didn't have the knowledge, like we already said, to do something with their life. Whereas now they have it in their current disposition and where they found themselves. But I'm not saying, like I said, this lack of opportunity is not a strong, because you may still not. No, there's nobody on this earth that has never had an opportunity, even if it's a small opportunity, to make a difference in their life, irrespective of where they're found. I must say that. Even if you are found in maybe in there must be an opportunity. It must not be like every other person, but that opportunity was that you make a difference from within that community. But still, not every person is exposed to the same opportunity. Like, for example, job opportunities in abroad, there are many job opportunities in abroad compared to job opportunities in Africa. People can do basically things that people do without payment in Africa. They do it here and they are paid. People, I mean, things that practically nobody will pay you a dime in doing those things in Africa, but you do it in the West, you get paid. Yeah, so like that's what I say. Not everybody is exposed to the same opportunity. So sometimes when you judge people for not doing something in their life, I'm not saying this point is an excuse. I want to reiterate. But before we judge people for not making something out of their life, we have to realize that not every finger is the same. Not every other person is exposed to the same opportunities like you are exposed. So once you are judging, you have to hold your assumptions lightly and equally understand that not every other person is exposed to the same opportunity like you. So once there are some people that when they're exposed to some opportunity, they change their mind, change their life entirely. Whereas too, there are people that even they have the opportunities, they will never use it, or they may never make use of it. So not every other person is exposed to the same opportunity. That's I think the first point for part three. Yeah, not every other person is exposed to the same opportunity. We do not have the same opportunity to succeed from Africa like the people in the West. They have a lot of opportunity. For example, in Africa, let's say there are part people are dying of hunger. You cannot be. You cannot be. First thing, you cannot. A person cannot think or reflect if that person is hungry. The first thing that will be coming in that person's mind, the only thing is food, food, food. So people are still dealing with the basic. People still want to eat. You need to eat to have the energy to think. If you have not eaten, how can you even reflect? How can you think of something to do with your life? So, you see, people need to understand that not every other person is exposed to the same opportunity like everyone. So, the next point I want us to look at today in this video series is the lack of exposure. Lack of exposure. What is exposure? There are different forms of exposure. Yes, there are people that just from the street, they learn a lot. They're exposed to a lot of things in the street, and they are street smart. They are street smart. They learn because they are exposed to different things coming from the street. Yeah, they're exposed to. Sometimes people get their education just by being exposed to some things, not necessarily in a well organized, confined area, but being exposed to different things in life can make a person to be successful. Not every person has exposure. There are a lot of people that has academic, but they are not exposed to a lot of things. And with that academy, and they are not exposed to job opportunity, they are not exposed to some kind of knowledge, they are not exposed to, but they have first degree and other stuff in academy, but they are not exposed to some certain things. So lack of exposure to is like I said, sorry about my itchy nose. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Top of my nose here keep itching each time I'm put in front of. I don't know if it's the light or whatever. Just make it my top part of my nose keep being itchy. I hope that doesn't irritate you. It's just the top part of my nose, not. Yep. So, like I said, once uh, a person might have academics, but they are not exposed to or privy to some kind of information or privy to some kind of people, because exposure has to do with some kind of information, some kind of people. Once you lack that exposure, maybe you may even have academic qualification, but because you lack that exposure, you are not connected to some things that may turn around your life. You are not exposed to some kind of people. You are not exposed to some kind of knowledge. So lack of exposure, I think, too, is one of the cause why people do not succeed. Yep. And let me do so that I can get out of here and rest. Maybe my nose is itchy because I'm tired. And the last one for today is lack of proper upbringing. Yes. While I talk about a child from the onset, when I begin this video, I talk about the birth of a child growing up and that. Children that are brought up in a home where there is love and discipline has the capability of succeeding more than children that grow up in a wayward setting or environment. I hope you're following the message, not my itchy nose. I'm gonna do something about that. Let me take that over. Children that are brought up in an environment where they have their parents in a functional, not dysfunctional, in a functional society or home where they have both of their parents giving them adequate love and discipline, have the potential and tendency to succeed more than children that grows up in a dysfunctional environment with lack of control. Yes, that is what we see in the world because of dysfunctional upbringing of children. That's why we do not have a lot of successful people. So when, like I said, the third point is lack of proper upbringing. Once a person lacks that proper upbringing, they don't teach them. Like I said, the white people teach their children how to walk, how to negotiate, how to mastermind, how to dominate. Once a child from birth is being programmed how to mastermind, how to dominate, how to excel, how to work, how to produce. You that come from a dysfunctional environment, dysfunctional society, how can you compete with such a person? Maybe you grow up in a house where every now and then is fight, mother, father, fight, smoking weed, drugs, all those things. How would somebody that whose mind is clouded with drug, fight, all those things, anger, disappointment, succeed in life? I'm not saying they have come out very few children in some of those really broken home, and they make a conscious decision and change the story of their family. But that these are isolated cases and backed by strong determination of such individuals. But we find very few. So bringing up a child, just like it is said in the Bible, that it bring up a child the way they will grow and will not be separated from that way. So once you bring up, you train a child how to be responsible, how to achieve success, how to, turn things around. Like I said, if you see the way the white people train their children, by the time they are leaving high school, that they are already teaching them how to work, how to make money, how to organize finance, how to do this. They put them in a system, in an organized setting, which is contrary to some other people live in a very dysfunctional environment, poor, maybe improper. Was a child is brought up improperly. You see, the blueprint is out there in the society for you to judge yourself. to look at some of those children that grows up in so much dysfunctionality and look at the way their life turn out. Very, very isolated cases. Few of them came out. And if you want to study their life, you see that they did something that was different from the way they were brought up. So lack of proper upbringing is one of the major causes why people do not succeed with their life. And this has to go back to the homes, to the family, to start telling parents, to start teaching parents how to love and discipline their children at the same time, how to put their children on perspective and focus so that they can be successful and make the parents proud. Yes. So it is clear, you have to know. So if you are bringing up your children in a very improper manner, you have to change now, because I don't think you want your children to be unsuccessful. I believe as parents, all of us want our children to be more successful or go further than where we ended. In order to achieve that, you need to give them the right upbringing, which entails love and discipline. So my nose itchy is really bad today. I'm just holding myself. I don't know if it's tiredness or what. So somebody can help me with any lotion that I can use or something. That would be good. So that's just what I want to say for today. I would like to end the video here, that I can rest and maybe, look at what is causing my nose to itch each time I stand in front of the light. I don't know what's going on. So to conclude, I just want to appreciate each and every one who's watching this video, and say you should share my videos, encourage others to go to my YouTube page. I Stand Out TV. One word, Stand Out is the join word TV. You will see my picture in front, and you can subscribe and like, and each time I drop a video, you'll be the first to be notified. So I'll be coming up with more and more video with topic that are relatable, things that you can actually represent. Yep. So I just want to say have a blessed day, and I wish you the best. Why, I'll come up with other video. Maybe the next time I come, my nose will not be itchy as today. I'm really having a discomfort on that. So stay blessed. Have a good day. Peace.